All right, welcome to the presentation of GymRat. Just really quickly, I'd like to say try to ignore the watermark that's attached here. We have a trial version going on of this service. In addition, we can't go full screen, otherwise you won't see me. However, we're just going to jump right into this, discuss what GymRat is, how we actually monetize it, the whole entire agenda, what problems it solves, some customer personas, and some storyboards, and really delve into why this problem and this solution really work in conjunction to come up with the best thing. So GymRat really is about penetrating and making the most of a $25 billion industry. So GymRat is a tech-based and like geolocation-based app solution to extremely crowded gyms. We all have the pain of going to the gym and not being able to get any equipment that you like, or just not knowing when it's busy or not, and it really ends up, impacting people's days when we have extremely long hours worked and less productivity, and we want to make sure we are most effective in every portion of our lives. In addition, it's extremely valuable because it is a $25 billion industry that we can penetrate and get into. So jumping into the agenda, we're just going to talk a little bit more, like I just did, about what it is, what GymRat is, and the challenge that we're facing. Going into the research process about what we actually researched to find out that this would be a viable product. Jump into some customer personas about who we're actually targeting, some storyboards. Jump into a little video of our prototype because it is a tech-based solution that our video prototype is actually digital rather than physical. And then jump into the actual final solution and talk a little bit more and just go into depth. So to begin, we're just going to touch on what GymRat is about and what the challenge is actually trying to solve. So it really comes from the struggles of fitness-focused people. It provides a data-driven, scalable solution to the packed gym issue. And the challenge really is contextual because, like I mentioned before, people are having less time to themselves. So spending that wasted time at the gym shouldn't be part of that extremely packed lifestyle. You should be able to live a healthy life without wasting your time trying to be as healthy as you can be. In addition, the impact that this has is that it gets the population more active and GymRat will build a community. So it gives people more effective workout plans and builds a community about when everyone can go. All right, so the research process that we actually went down. So we went to places like the Arc to actually talk to them. We observed inside the Arc, we observed inside the Last Real Gym over in North Park, and we observed inside American Barbell Clubs when I visited back up in Northern California. We proposed this idea in these very packed gyms. What if you could have an app that told you when the gym was super busy based on everyone's geolocation, or even to the point of it told you what specific machines were being used, so it gave you the recommendation of what you can do the fastest workout in, because a lot of times we'll be at the gym and see that only 25% of the machines are being used in this massive space. It's completely inefficient and completely unrealistic that we should still have to deal with that. And the feedback we received was overwhelmingly positive from these community members, which was really fantastic to see. That this actually is a viable product and that this can actually be very helpful to a lot of people like students and people living very busy lives in active communities. So then once we actually found out that this was a viable product, we needed to actually, put into what customer personas we could put this into, who actually, would be using this product to actually figure out a way to sell the product. And we found that, which is also talked more in depth in the essay, through these three personas. So first you have Carmen, which is a prospective user, Mandy, which is a gym owner who would be using it from the back end, more of the financial business side of it, and Sandra, who's a prospective student choosing which school she'll go to. So to start with Carmen, the prospective user, she's an adult, hectic lifestyle. She wants to plan her day around the gym. She has kids. It's a pain to try to get to the gym, and it's completely understandable. So she's heard about GymRat, and she really wants to get it involved with her gym that she's in. And, she thinks that it could be a very viable product to help her figure out a best time to work out and show her kids how to lead a healthy lifestyle while also being there for her family. Mandy, the gym owner, this is where we really monetize it by targeting the gym owner since it is a freemium model. She wants to provide the best service for her patrons, and if we have the data to show what specific machines in her gym are being used and what aren't. That's extremely valuable data to her. So that's definitely something that we want to target in that sense. Sandra is a prospective student. This really goes into, Sandra's prospective student, and colleges are really competing to get the best kind of students within their school and, get them to accept their acceptance. So, she's incredibly important because we want to make sure that all the campus gyms have this in, because this is a deciding factor for a lot of people. How's the gym laid out? What services does the gym have? Especially in the San Diego community, which is extremely active. So then we built out some storyboards. How did we actually communicate with these people who actually within these customer personas? And with Carmen, she hears about GymRat on the news segment. She downloads the app for free. That's extremely important to remember. The app from the customer side is free, because rather than be a typical buy this and then you have all this access, we're kind of basing this as an actual data company, that we, by getting a ton of people on this, we'll have tons of data on when the gyms are busy, what kind of if we map out the inside of the gym, what machines are being used, what aren't. That's the data that's actually valuable and actually something we can actually monetize. Rather than just try to get them on the app for $5, it doesn't make sense, because you need as many people on there to have data. Anyways, she sees not that many people on the app are, at her gym, and she wants to get her owner to advertise it. So it's kind of building this constant, freemium, and then just word of mouth advertising, which we find is extremely successful in the fitness industry. Next, you have Mandy, the prospective gym owner. She hears about GymRat at an industry event, and she calls one of us to set up a call. And then we actually go in there and set up her gym, activate it, see where everything is. And then we want to complete the upsell to access more of the GymRat data. So it's important to remember that we will have a ton of data on who's using what at her gym, because the app is always running in the background. And then rather than just have that data, what do? We sell it back to the gym owner at a pretty high price, which is actually not high, but reasonable for how much gyms are pulling in, about $500 a month, to get access to this data and be able to switch around their gym. Lastly, you have Sandra, the prospective student. She hears about GymRat on a school tour. She goes to the gym on the tour and hear more about GymRat. She downloads it, begins to use it while she's deciding on school, and she never needs to purchase anything. So we want to get more people like her in the app, so then we can upsell the data to the gym owners. So this is where Joseph actually stepped in. He created a wonderful prototype to show you kind of what the app base will actually look like. This is fantastic. He did a killer job, the graphic designer that we worked with. So you'll see here you can move around. You see the map that you're in. You see that it's actually, okay, well, here's my gym. Here's what's being used. Here's what's not. You have the charts saying, okay, well, here's what you've been doing, but also, what can you do based on how busy the gym is. You can also set up a little reservation thing. That's one option we've been exploring, is that, the bench press is getting busy. You'll be able to reserve it, and then when at a certain time the next person's off, you're back on it. So you're actually able to, really get effective use of the gym, rather than having to sit there and wait for machines when they're just being overpacked and overused. This is, just backed out of that little video. Here's what the prototype looks like. So you can actually see right over here, this is what the gym looks like when it's mapped out. And we'll get a ton of data, seeing where people are. We'll be able to see when you're walking around, okay, someone's here, someone's here, someone's here, someone's here, someone's here, but no one's over here. That's important data for the gym owner. So we'll be able to target that and see that. And be able to sell that information back to the gym owner, including with recommendations about, how to make their gym better. So lastly, the solution is an app-based with a desktop backend that shows the user shows the free user, who are going to the gym, what's busy, what's not, how do I get into the gym, when's the best time to go, what's the best kind of workout to hit today based on the activity level of the gym. All the data that we collect on the back end is then used on the desktop, which we then sell back to the gym owner, and it solves all the major headache of, those are pain going to the long way to the gym. I feel it all the time, especially at the ARC. And the personnel will really need to grow, especially the sales team is going to be the most important here, and engineering. That's going to be the two most important people, this groups that we're going to have while we're expanding this. Selling it, getting it into the gyms, getting that upsell. We project that within the first 4 years, both Joseph and I are not going to be taking a salary. By year 5, the way we're scaling it, we should be near up to $250,000 to $1 million of revenue, and that's huge at $500 per month per gym, which is completely reasonable based on our market research. In addition, the contribution to society is incredibly important with this. People are pained by going to the gym because it is so difficult to actually do it well and be successful at it when everything's so busy. And especially in a time where the health epidemic is so real in America, with people being overweight and not eating healthy, this is a great way to kind of jumpstart people getting back into that active lifestyle and leading healthier lives, which will eventually lower everyone's overall cost of of insurance and medical issues, which ends up being a huge contribution to society, and that's what we think we're going to really step into. Um, thank you for listening to this presentation. I'll hope that this, really demonstrated, what GymRat is, how we're actually going to monetize it, what success looks like, how we're going to scale it, and then also the contribution to society. And with that, that's all we have. So thank you so much for listening.